Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics: The Young and the Restless spoilers. Audra goes scorched earth at Kyle and Claire's wedding. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, and Claire Newman's Haley Aaron wedding could end in disaster if these nuptials move forward. After all, Audrey Charles Ulika, Silver is out for revenge and has nothing left to lose. Audra has filled Claire's head with doubts about what happened in Nice, so Kyle tries to prove himself by proposing. Will Claire think it's too soon, or be swept off her feet? Kyle and Claire could hear wedding bells in their future, but that doesn't mean the deed gets done. We predict that if Audra can't have a happy ending with Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, she'll make sure that Claire don't either. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and Audra once worked together to destroy Claire, but in defeat, he allowed them to be. But was he telling the truth? An engagement could trigger Victor into revenge mode again, and for that, Audra would be a perfect partner. In a recent episode, Kyle admitted to kissing Audra in Nice, but he didn't tell Claire he was half naked at the time, so that right there is ammo Audra could use in her favor. Audrey told Sally Spectra Courtney Hope about the towel encounter, so maybe it's time she told Claire about the romp. If nothing else, it will expose Kyle for withholding crucial information and plant seeds of doubt in Claire's eyes. One way or another, we suspect that Audra won't stand by mute while Claire and Kyle have a happy ever after, especially since her own relationship with Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, is in the weeds. Of course, Audra brought this all on herself, refusing to come clean when Nate asked about her treachery in France. Explosive. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Audra has a nasty reaction to Claire's news. Will she decide to go in for the kill and ruin her life and theirs by telling the truth and maybe embellishing it a bit? 2. Tell us what you think of Kyle's treatment of women. Y&R fans. Weddings in Genoa City are rarely just about love, romance, and champagne toasts. More often than not, they become battlefields where rivalries explode, secrets surface, and carefully constructed facades come crashing down. And if spoilers are to be believed, the upcoming wedding of Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace could go down in soap history as one of the most explosive ceremonies of all time. Why? Because Audra Charles has no intention of sitting quietly in the pews. The ambitious, sharp-tongued, and emotionally unpredictable Audra is ready to go scorched earth, and her target is none other than the bride and groom themselves. What begins as a picture-perfect day could unravel into chaos, heartbreak, and the kind of soapy spectacle that fans will be dissecting for years. In this deep dive, we'll explore every possible twist, emotional fallout, and dramatic repercussion that could stem from Audra's decision to burn it all down at Kyle and Claire's wedding. The calm before the storm. Genoa City weddings always come with pomp and circumstance, and Kyle and Claire's union is no different. The Abbott mansion is decked out in white roses, golden lighting, and elegant touches that scream old money sophistication. Jack beams with pride, Diane fusses over every last detail, and Summer Newman, still privately nursing wounds from her failed marriage to Kyle, keeps her emotions in check while trying to be supportive for her son Harrison's sake. Claire, eager to prove that her checkered past is truly behind her, looks radiant. Her journey from tormentor, thanks to Jordan's manipulations, to redeemed Abbott bride has been a rocky one, but at least on this day, she's determined to hold her head high. The guest list is stacked with familiar faces. Victor and Nikki sit front and center, silently judging but keeping a polished exterior. Phyllis lurks nearby, suspicious of Claire's intentions, and Mariah and Tessa whisper about how this wedding feels like the calm before a storm. And they're right, because just outside those polished Abbott doors, Audra Charles sharpens her knives. Audra's motives, a wounded ego and a calculated plan. Audra Charles has never been a woman who takes rejection lightly. Her relationship with Kyle had been a combustible mix of passion, ambition, and scheming, and Kyle turned his back on her. Watching him rush headfirst into a fairy tale romance with Claire is more than she can stomach. But Audra's motives aren't just about heartbreak, they're about power. Kyle is an Abbott, and Claire, through her connection to Victoria and the Newman family, represents an even bigger bridge of wealth and influence. Together, they create a dynasty that could cement their social and corporate standing for decades to come. Audra knows that once those to say I do, her leverage over Kyle evaporates completely. So, what's a scorned woman with sharp instincts and a taste for drama to do? Detonate the wedding from the inside out. The wedding begins as the ceremony kicks off. All the usual beats play out. Jack gives a heartfelt speech about family and second chances. Harrison toddles down the aisle with a basket of petals. melting hearts across the room. Kyle gazes at Claire with devotion, the kind that makes even hardened Genoa City cynics believe in love at least for a second. But Audra isn't moved. Sitting in the back row, she's a vision in a daring black dress that screams defiance. The air is thick with tension, though no one dares confront her yet. For a moment, she lets everyone believe she's simply there as an invited guest. Until she isn't, Audra goes scorched earth as the officiant reaches the pivotal moment. Speak now or forever. Hold your peace. Audra rises from her seat. The crowd gasps. Some roll their eyes, assuming this is just a stunt. But when Audra's voice slices through the Abbott mansion, there's no mistaking the venom. Forever hold my peace. Not a chance. This whole wedding is a sham, and I'm not letting it go forward without the truth coming out. What follows is a verbal takedown for the ages. She accuses Kyle of stringing her along, of using her as a placeholder while secretly yearning for a storybook bride. She drags Claire's dark past into the spotlight, reminding the guests that she once kidnapped Harrison and terrorized the Newman family. She questions whether Claire is truly reformed or simply playing Kyle and his family for fools. Every word is calculated, every barb sharpened to inflict maximum damage. And as the stunned guests look on, Claire's radiant smile fades, Kyle's face hardens, and Diane bristles with fury. The fallout in real time, the Abbott mansion descends into chaos. Claire's breakdown. Claire, who has fought tooth and nail to redeem herself, is gutted by Audra's accusations. The whispers among guests' old wounds being reopened leave her shaken. Kyle's rage. Kyle storms toward Audra, threatening to have her removed, but Audra smirks. Go ahead, Kyle. Drag me out, but the truth won't stay buried, no matter how much you try. Diane's fury. Protective of her son, Diane lashes out at Audra, calling her a bitter opportunist. But deep down, even Diane wonders, could Claire relapse into darker patterns? Victor's amusement. From the sidelines, Victor watches with that trademark half-smile. For him, this is less a disaster and more an opportunity. If Audra's words destabilize Claire, it could give him leverage over the Abbotts once again. The ceremony stalls. The officiant doesn't know whether to proceed. While the crowd is divided, half sympathetic to Claire, half suspicious. Is Audra telling the whole truth? Here's where things get juicy. Spoilers suggest Audra may not just be spewing venom. She may actually have receipts. Perhaps she's uncovered evidence that Claire isn't as reformed as she pretends. Suspicious texts, shady financial dealings, or even collusion with Jordan's lingering allies. Or maybe she's exaggerating half-truths, spinning them into a narrative designed to shatter Claire's credibility. Either way, the damage is done. Even if Kyle and Claire press forward with the ceremony, doubt now lingers in the air. Every kiss, every vow, every promise is tainted by the shadow of Audra's words. The aftermath. When the dust settles, nothing in Genoa City will be the same. Kyle and Claire's marriage, even if they do marry, their union is immediately under siege. Trust becomes fragile, and every conflict circles back to Audra's accusations. Audra's reputation. She may have burned bridges, but in Soapland, a scorched earth move often comes with new opportunities. Could Victor recruit her for a scheme against the Abbotts? Could Tucker see her as a valuable ally? Summer's position. Watching Audra publicly humiliate Kyle and Claire could stir complicated feelings in Summer. Does she secretly agree with Audra? Does this pave the way for a potential Kyle-Summer reunion down the road? The Abbotts versus the Newmans, with Claire tied to Victoria and Kyle to the Abbotts. Audra's outburst could reignite a family rivalry, pulling both dynasties back into conflict. Audra's endgame. Spoilers hint that Audra isn't just lashing out. She's playing a long game. By destroying Kyle and Claire's wedding, she positions herself as the woman who exposed the truth, no matter how brutal. That kind of boldness could land her powerful new allies in Genoa City, and knowing Audra, she won't stop there. She may set her sights on Kyle again, not out of love, but out of sheer determination to prove she can't be erased from his life. Or she could pivot to someone even more dangerous, like Adam Newman, aligning herself with him for mutual gain. One thing is clear. Audra's scorched earth move ensures she remain at the center of Genoa City drama for months to come. The wedding that changed everything in soap operas. Weddings often serve as turning points, and Kyle and Claire's nuptials will be